Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Brandon from SPS. I'm doing this quick video today to go over the property intake form and how to properly get that filled out and get you to your first deal. I am in the work for SPS page right here, and there's going to be some key forms right here that is going to have to be uploaded to upload a deal. And one of the things I want to do today is actually show you how to find deals quickly and how to contact them. All right. So here's a place that you're going to upload all of your deals. And then we have this thing called a property intake form, and that's what I want to really focus on today. And this is the SPS Bird Dog and the property intake form. And I would suggest that every SPS Bird Dog prints at least 100 of these, and I would keep them on you as you are going throughout the day, because as you get calls or as you pass signs or call people, you are able to fill this out. And the first thing that you have to put down is put your first and last right up here, first and last name, put the date, but then also put where you were able to find the lead. I am going to teach you today quickly that there's tons of local homes all over our particular backyard that can be found online as well as in person. We have to have the address. Okay, it is going to be critical that we have the address to be able to find the property, pull up comps. And one of the things I want to do here is anything with a star on here is a absolute must for any of our bird dogs, because this is essential for our process of closing and going over all of these deals. And in the end, investor, which is going to be our company, has to have all of this info in order to process the deal. So all of these that have stars by it are absolute must that have to be filled out. All right. So we're going to have the city as well as the area of town. Okay. It is good to tell us west side is north side. If you have any of that info, that definitely helps us process each of these deals for sure. We want to have the owner's name, but then also his cell phone as well as a home phone. If we can't get them on one, our company, once we get all of these leads, we are going to call these people in. We are going to confirm that all of this info is correct. Okay. One of the key things is to also get the asking price. But before we go to the asking price, I want you to call and talk to all of these sellers, and I want you to go down to this column right down here. Okay, I want you to tell them that you work with a local real estate investor, and we are looking to purchase homes in the area. And I want you to begin building the rapport with all of these sellers by asking them bedroom, bath, square footage, and I want you to take as good of notes as possible. If it has a 1, 2, 3 car garage, feel free to write kind of all over this. If it has a basement, if the basement is finished, what's the square footage? Is it a frame build house? Is it brick, block, stucco? That's going to be popular down in Florida. If it has a 1, 2, 3 car garage, basement, fridge, all of this. And it is going to be critical to ask the question, is this house occupied? While you do this, this is a great opportunity for you to do active listening. As you are asking these questions, I want you to engage all of these sellers, and I want you to repeat what their answers are. And what that does is that tells the seller that you are actively listening to what they have to say. If you have any other type of notes, I want you to jot it down here. And Once we get to about this point right here, I would suggest that we ask them what they are asking for it. Okay, to determine the asking price is critical because we have to find out what they are asking for first. Okay, sometimes people tell us to put in a offer. We always have to have a price first, and then afterwards, what we're going to do is we're going to ask the seller what the estimated value would be if we were able to do an appraisal today. How much are homes similar to this selling in their particular area? It's very critical that you were able to ask them this and get them to kind of come to terms of what else is going on there today. Sometimes their asking price is high compared to what is going on. And the comps, this part here doesn't have to be asked. What I would typically ask you to do is go to Zillow and type in the address and put the Zillow estimate down right here. Okay, so then once you get done asking those questions, I want you to ask, how did you arrive at the asking price? Okay, and fill in what they are able to answer, because they either are going to be guessing, they talked to a friend or a realtor, or they pulled comps. I mean, that's good to determine how they came up with the asking price, because then when we pull up comps later, it can help justify getting the deal done. One of the other key things is to ask them why they are selling. A key thing is if they are selling because of a job transfer or a divorce. This is going to tell you the type of urgency that they have, and one of your jobs to call all of these sellers is to screen them and to determine their level of motivation. One of the things that you could do up at the top of the sheet is kind of up in this category up here, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are they to get out of the house? Okay, and you can determine that also by some of these questions down here. But before we get there, we're going to ask, does it have to have any type of repairs? And most of the time people are going to tell you no. But one of the key questions is, if you're going to be there for an extra 5 to 10 years, what would you do to the property? And I want you to jot down what they would do, so over in this area over here, which is going to be critical that we have a general feeling of what has to be done. Okay, when do you want to move? Okay, if the house is currently vacant, they have a higher level of motivation typically to find a buyer for it, because they're probably coming out of pocket. Okay, is the house listed? All right, is it going to be listed with a broker or agent? And if it has, we want to ask them, have you had any offers? Okay, and we are going to come here and we're going to ask, what is the existing mortgage in place? Okay, and the whole point of that is, as a real estate investor, we have to know what is owed on the house, because we have the opportunity to purchase the house one of two different ways. Either we can put in a all cash offer, or else we can also carry financing. And it is critical and to ask these questions. The two things that I absolutely need is going to be the mortgage balance. If there's a first, second, or even a third, put all of those figures. A lender, if you can get what lender it is, that's fantastic, but we don't have to have that. Okay, if they have the rate, that's good to know what the payment is as well. That's critical, but also find out, when did you get that loan? When's the last time that you have refinanced that? Because how long that is seasoned is critical. Okay, one of the things I ask too is, does this payment include principal, interest, taxes, and insurance? yes or no. Okay, and then ask, is this loan current? Okay, if it isn't, then how far are you back? Okay, the upcoming part, and before I go further, I actually came up with a document that if you get any resistance from the seller to give you this info here, what that first of all tells me is they probably aren't that motivated. Okay, but if they tell you that it isn't any of your business, I came up with a script that is able to be used, and it goes something like this. It isn't any of your business. And then this is going to be something I'm going to want you to memorize, okay? All you have to do is just read this 5, 10, 20 times, and then you'll have it in your head. But this tells them that we often can pay all cash for houses, but it's going to have to be at a huge discount, okay? Or we can also buy houses with terms or lease purchase, and that's going to be critical to have the info of what is owed on it. Okay, so I will attach this document as well, and we were able to come up with this to help you get all of this info, because without this info, that's not a very good lead, and we would dock how much would be paid as a fee, according to how good the deal is, but then also how much info is filled out. If our closer, Bailey, has to pick up the phone and call all these people to get all this, we're going to pay you anywhere from 25 to 50% of what we would typically if these questions aren't going to be answered. Okay, so once we obtain this info here of what is owed on it, there's 3 boxes underneath. Okay, and each of these boxes are going to be dependent on which script you were able to read based off of the answers that are given to you up in the mortgage information. If you find out that the house is free and clear, okay, I would tell you approximately 30% of our country has a house that is free and clear. You would come over here and you would ask them, will you consider taking monthly payments for all of your equity? Okay, so that would be your question only if the house is free and clear. So if they tell you the house is paid for, I want you to instantly go down here to ask these questions right here. And then if the answer is yes, okay, then I want you to skip down over here to this answer right here. Great, I'll have my boss call you to discuss terms. What's the best time? Notice that I am not having you talk about what our company does. I am not having you talk about lease options, okay? Do not go beyond this sheet, because the whole purpose is to have you gather, screen, and bring the good deals to our closer, all right? And that's what we're going to gather here. If they tell you, will you consider taking payments for all of your equity? If they tell you no, I want you to go right here, okay? You would ask, would you consider a lease purchase, making us responsible for all repairs? Okay, if the answer is going to be yes, then we go right down here, and then we'll have Bailey call them, and then you would take a picture of this document and upload that to workforsps.com and put in all the info. Right here in the picture category, I want you to upload a JPEG picture of this document, so then our closer is able to have all of that info. Okay, and if you ask them that question, if they still tell you no, okay, then you are going to go down here and ask, so you are saying if you don't get a full price and all cash offer, you won't sell your house? And if they say yes, you're going to have to answer, okay, I understand, but that wouldn't make any sense for us. And then basically at this point, this would be a conversation that would be over, and it would also be a conversation that you would not upload to the workforsps.com database. Okay. If the answer is no, then you're going to go and have the closer call. All right. If the house has a mortgage on it, okay, I want you to come over here, okay, and if the house has a large mortgage on it, okay, if we can agree on a price and we accept all of the future repairs on the house, would you consider a lease purchase or a lease option? Okay, and then here it's going to tell you yes or no. If the answer is yes, then obviously we'd come right down here to find out a good time to have your boss call. Okay, again, I don't want you having to feel that you have to explain anything. Your whole point here is to get these sellers screen and upload as many deals as possible. Some of our good bird dogs are able to upload between 8 and 12 deals per day because they are on the phone calling, or they are calling signs in town, and they are able to get people just qualified. And then once they have any of these answers to be yes, they upload those deals to the database at workforsps.com. Okay, and if the answer here is no, so you are going to go over here and say, so you are saying if you don't get a full price and all cash offer, you aren't going to sell the house. And if they say yes, similar over to this column over on the right, you're going to say, sounds good, I understand, but that doesn't make any sense for our company, and basically part as friends. And if they say no, you at least got the info, and you were able to have your boss call and follow up on this. Okay. In the event that a person still won't give the info on the mortgage, and if you attempt 3 different times, I would put here attempted 3 times, seller wouldn't give the info. Okay, that type of deal you can upload, but I'll tell you it has a low probability of being a possibility. Okay, it's just a deal that doesn't work. And one of the things that I typically like to tell people is, wherever you are in the country, okay, I don't know if any of you guys enjoy fishing, but this is a pond. Okay, and this pond has this little boat, and here's you fishing. Okay, now, so let's have a little smiley face. Okay, and if you're fishing, okay, you are looking for one particular type of fish. Okay, now a question for you: if you go out fishing and you were looking for this particular type of fish, we'll say a motivated seller. Okay, if you catch a different type of fish that's maybe not that particular type of fish, what do? Do you pack up and go home that you caught a unmotivated seller? Of course not. You pull the fish off the pole, and then you were able to go home. Okay? No, of course not. You would put the fish back, and then you would put this pole back in the water. Okay? One of the things that I want you to encourage is that there's got to be different ways that you can create additional seller leads. Okay, so one of the things is, if you go fishing, if you have one pole in the water, are you gonna catch fish? So absolutely. Okay, in the welcome packet I sent quite a bit of info of different ways that you can find sellers. Okay, that's bandit signs. Okay, one of the best and the quickest ways that I suggest our bird dogs get going is go on Craigslist. Okay, Craigslist is a fantastic resource that a lot of people put their properties. You are going to be calling on the for rent section and then also the for sale by owner. Okay, do not call on the any houses listed by brokers. It will be a disaster. Okay, one of the other things that you can do is you can call for sale by owner.com or also for sale signs that are posted in front of houses. Okay, those little bandit signs that look like this. Okay, those are actually the best way that I have found because they often get less people calling compared to on the internet. What I want to do is help you make more dollars, okay? Because if you're getting an average of $500 per referral, okay, it's critical that we get multiple avenues to bring in fish. So one of the things that I would encourage is have Craigslist, okay? Call for sale by owners, okay? You can both go online, but then also paper as well, okay? One of the other things that you can do is you can go and you can post bandit signs, okay? You can put out business cards, okay? You can put out flyers. You can go door to door, but with any of these type of activities, you're going to have this form over here, and you're just going to have to pick up the phone, okay? And the final question on here, if the loan balance of what they owe here is within $35,000 of what they're asking for it, the final question, and the only time that you are going to ask this is if the asking price is within $35,000 of what the house here is worth. Now, all that I'm looking to do here is go to Zillow.com, and we're going to just type in an address of, let's say, 7205 Collin Street, Crystal Lake. And so this is a property here that you would put $111,966 into this part right here. And if the asking price is within $35,000, you are going to ask them, will you sell the house for what you owe on it? Okay. Anytime you get a yes right here, that's a good lead that I want you to update to our database. All right, and just go right here to workforsps.com, and then upload this info to your sheet. And if we go over here, I've got this up. You can put all of the info of the seller name. You can put their phone number. Okay. You can put their email, test@test.com. Property type, okay? Single family, multi-unit, condo, townhome. All right, I don't want you guys to just limit yourselves on our backyard only, okay? I want you to call properties all over. The cool thing on Craigslist is if you go to Craigslist, you can go in the houses for rent, okay? All these people that have houses for rent are potential landlords that are done being landlords. And oftentimes they have phone numbers in the ad that you can either reply to the ad or pick up the phone and call them. It's best to be as aggressive as possible and pick up the phone and call them, okay? There's a phone number here, so you just pick up the phone, call these people, and find out what they have going on. And then all you're doing is filling out this form right here. All right? That does it for this particular training. If you have any other questions or how to use this, I am going to be sending this out to our entire Bird Dog team. And if you have any questions, I can be reached at Brandon@SchwabPropertySolutions.com. All right, have a blessed day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.